Howdy.
Hey,
If we can actually record this shit show.
hopefully. It's always your internet.
Bullshit.
I've done like nothing all day except catch up on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I've actually just been watching King of the Hill all day. Get out of my house. Exodus. Ah, shit.
Dancing around like we didn't teach you shame.
I like the tornado episode when Bobby wants to throw the egg. He's like,
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this all day. And he throws it and then it just comes back and explodes in his face. The moment I've been waiting for.
When he's on the bed. Tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
I haven't got to that episode yet, but I remember that. It's fucking funny. It's a funny ass show. And they're actually bringing it back.
Yeah. I just hope it's good.
The good news is it's still the same. It's Mike Judge and that other guy that are doing it.
I know, but it's also like, are they gonna try to be like woke?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hope not.
Like woke Hank. Not that Hank was a prejudiced person or anything, but
Right.
I don't want him to be understanding of transgendered people or something like that. I want him to be like, what?
That's what I worry. That's what I worry about with that '90s show that they're gonna do. Like, are they gonna make Red soft?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm worried about that. And plus, when they tried to do that '80s show, like that was trash. So who knows?
Yeah. But that didn't have them in it, though, did it?
No, but I'm just saying it was like, I don't know. I just hope it's not just bad.
Yeah.
Like they redid like Saved by the Bell, and I don't care what anybody says. Saved by the Bell is funny. Like it's a funny show.
Mm-hmm.
And that new one was just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Austin.
Hello?
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
God, I don't understand why my audio is so... Maybe it's the case that I have. But your audio is so bad. It's so low.
Man, it's got to be something there because I can hear you like perfectly. I can hear Aaron perfectly. So I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this phone's like Zach Morris had one. That's how old it was. I mean, he was scalping tickets at the Max on my phone. Mad at you.
Well, let's see. I don't have a lot of notes on this bad boy.
Good luck with this one, buddy.
Yeah, no shit.
Wait, I told Jess, I said, it seems like every week me and Aaron like have to like be funny to cover up for the lack of shit that they're throwing out there. You know? Like,
yeah.
We got to come up with material. And I'm like, I'm not a working comedian or anything. All I can do is comment on what I see.
The good news is the subject matter makes for good comedy.
That's right. I mean, that's like I just said. I can just comment on what I see. And right now, I'm upstairs in the bedroom, and I'm watching the fucking Olympics are still on. They're not that special. What are they still on for? It's been like 2 weeks already, right?
Yeah, what the shit?
All right, well, I'm putting on Alice right now. That's what I'm going to put on.
That's a winner.
Yeah, Alice is a good one.
All right, I'll get us started. And we'll hope for the best.
I mean, is there anything you want to talk about before this?
I have a question from a listener for you.
Oh, is the question was it you asked him a question?
No,
and it was why?
I actually got an email from a listener.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if we don't get many questions, that could be a thing. I don't think any podcasts do that. We just pick a random listener and make them answer a question.
Make them answer a question.
So what? Every single week we'll be calling Archie Mitchell. Bam! Got it in already.
Who's your favorite?
I'm on fire today. Got the Archie Mitchell in at the beginning of the show.
All right, here we go.
Hey, hang on. I was listening. I was listening to a show today. I don't know what show it was. It may have been 2 shows ago, and I was laughing at the fact that I was going on and on about Archie Mitchell.
Was it the one where I said he was the human resources guy?
I don't remember what it was. All I kept saying was, I don't know why, but I'm infatuated with this guy. I have no idea what he looks like. Anything. I just have my own like ideas in my head of what he looks like. And I'm thinking, this is Archie Mitchell. If you put like 6 people in a lineup, I bet you I could find you the Archie Mitchell.
Find it. He can't talk though. He can't give it away.
So he'll never come on.
I'm sure one day we can have him on. He actually told me he'd like to come on when we get to Shane Douglas throwing the belt down.
Oh, so he's like a Lou Kippelman.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, he only wants to talk when it's poignant for him.
Sweet Archie.
Oh, swanky Archie Miller.
Swanky Archie.
that's his gimmick now. Oh my God, he's gonna have a cane. If he shows up with a cape.
That sounds like something you get from a girl or give to a girl.
A swanky Archie.
Swanky Archie.
Look it up in the Urban Dictionary.
Like, man,
oh my goodness!
I took that girl home last night. Gave her the swanky Archie of a lifetime.
Well, please tell me you're getting this on tape because we ain't gonna have a whole lot more to talk about.
It is recorded.
You're gonna walk right for a week after that, swanky Archie.
Swanky Archie. That's going to be in that book that has all the sex terms and stuff.
Karma Sutra.
Swanky Archie. Hey, Jess.
It's on page 7.
Hey, Jess. Have you ever heard of the Swanky Archie? Oh, she hasn't. No, she hasn't heard of it either.
You're gonna find out later.
Well, she's got some swinger friends, so. Oh, good Lord. Well, we already figured the name of this show out. That's the best thing ever. That's clearly the best thing I've heard all fucking day. Which tells you everybody didn't do a whole lot. I really didn't watch a whole lot. Which brings us to the 628th show, right? 1994.
This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are covering the episode of ECW from June the 28th, 1994. Nate Maxon here with you, along with my brother Aaron.
Hello, everyone.
And ECW's own Mr. Chad Austin.
Hello, people.
And stay tuned to the end of this episode for a wonderful outtake from the beginning of the episode. But I want to thank you all for joining us this week.
Stay tuned to the end of the episode for the beginning of the intro to the outro? What the hell was that? Did you just put a hat on a hat again?
I did. And I put a hat on a hat and went down a slip and slide on that one. Jesus.
You want to hear the beginning, you gotta wait till the end.
Yes.
All right, whatever.
It's like a reverse battle royal.
Yeah. Reverse women's midget battle royal.
I think there's going to be one of those. I think there's going to be one of those at WrestleMania this year with the entire cast of Jackass in it or some shit. Well, we don't have a lot of. I have like a half a page of notes on this week's episode of ECW, coming out of Hostile City Showdown, Again, this is from June 28th, 1994. But first, Chad, do you want to do the question from a listener first here, or do you want to do that later?
Let's go through the first match first, because does it have anything to do with the first match?
Nope.
Oh, then it doesn't matter. I don't care then.
Well, here's the question. I got a question from a listener. For those of you that would like to ask Chad any questions here, you can always email me, relivingtheextreme@gmail.com. This is from...
Or you can come over.
I'm
not that hard to find. I somehow put my address on the internet.
That's a new podcast, Front Porch Questions with Chad Austin.
Yeah, I just sit here all day long, answer kids in the neighborhood just knocking on my door, asking me a question about Ricky Steamboat and shit.
Are you sure you don't want? You sure you don't want to ask the question in the middle of the program and play it at the beginning?
Time warp. Doing a time warp again.
Yeah, how about this? It's your show.
Well, this is from a listener named Brian Wicker. He asks, Chad, you have said a few times you don't like Tommy Dreamer. Where does the heat come from? Was it from an incident or just you don't like him as a person?
Oh, great question. Because I just ran into him, like, I don't know, what was it, 2 weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember I told you I was doing that Baltimore Celeb Fest thing?
Yeah.
And he was there, and I talked to him. I think it's just that, honestly, it's kind of like a rub heat from Paul.
Okay.
Because he was a Paul guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't go to Tommy to politic if you were going to go against anything that you were doing that Paul,
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of that he was just that guy. I don't know. I don't really not like the guy. I wish. I hope he slips in a puddle of AIDS. I don't hope that on him. But I just can be like, yeah, he's kind of a
kind of like a teacher's pet type thing.
What?
Kind of like he's like the teacher's pet or whatever.
Yeah, he's a company guy.
Yeah, the guy who reminded the teacher that they forgot to give homework, shit like that.
Yeah, he's just the company guy, and he does what's best for the company, and for some reason it just didn't rub me the right way. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's not like he did anything to my cats.
Was it like that from the beginning? Like, was he always like that from the minute that you met him, or did him and Paul get a relationship?
Dude, I don't know, because I was driving home. Listen to this, man. This is ironic that you said this. I was driving home from Delaware the other day, Friday, from work after dropping off some shit, and I drove past a place that I saw the exit, and I remembered that ECW ran a show there. It was like the third day of the Valley Forge weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was Valley Forge that day. And then what day was the ECW arena? Was that Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Well, then Sunday would have been that show down there. And I passed the place, and I haven't been there in, decades.
Mm-hmm.
And I drive past it. I was like, holy shit, I remember I wrestled here. That was awesome. But what was the original question? Who did I have heat with?
Tommy Dreamer.
Oh yeah, I don't think I had heat with Tommy Dreamer. And the last time I talked to Tommy Dreamer, I asked him. I said, he was at an NCW show, and I said, hey, do you think that shit that New Jack says about me is true? And he looked at me like he didn't even know who I was. And he just goes, huh? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. You don't know who I am.
Go talk to the guys from Dark Side of the Ring, would you? Go ahead and hang yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with Dreamer. All I know is he's terrible and busted open when he fills in. Good Lord, he ain't no fucking Bully Ray.
Nah, he's not that level of a personality at all. He's
got the personality of a Danhausen.
Shithausen, Tommy Dreamer. He's all elite next week. I guarantee it. We have footage to start this week's show, the June 28th show of ECW, showing us footage from the Hostile City Showdown with the Terry Funk and Rocco Rock scene from the Eagle's Nest, which we already discussed last week on the show. And then, like I
2
said,
weeks
folks,
before that,
there isn't too much on the bone for this week's show, so we'll try to make it as long as we can for you. We have the Funks entering the ring to some interesting music from the WWE Network.
Well, let them know which it's Terry and Lemonhead. It's not.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here with the Lemonhead. Stop with the Lemonhead. I mean, even though nobody listens to this, I mean, Archie might turn us into Marty. I mean, you can't be saying this stuff on the air over here. Talking about stop. Just enough. Dory Funk does not look like a Lemonhead.
Yes, he does.
Well, you can think that all you want. I'm just telling you.
All right.
Good Lord. I mean, Nate, do you run the website, right?
Yes.
Put up a poll.
And writing this down. Do you
think it looks like a Lemonhead?
Let's
see what our listeners say.
Dory Funk Jr. look like a Lemonhead.
I don't know. He doesn't. It's embarrassing. I can't believe you said that.
Speaking of embarrassing, Willie is back on this episode. Willie Watts.
Black Bill Watts.
Back. And I'm assuming that we got Willie on this show and Joey on the Hostile City Showdown, because obviously the Hostile City Showdown was a video release that would have come out. What do you think, Chad? What was the time on when a show would happen versus when it could come out on video for ECW? 4 weeks?
Oh, dude, it was weeks.
Yeah,
it was weeks until they finished up. Hang on one second, guys. It was weeks until they finished up the Gilbert stuff, because Gilbert had hours and hours and hours and hours of he taped everything. So once they finished that up, what was their show? An hour a week?
Yeah.
And the TV show was an hour a week. So yeah, and their house shows could have been 4 hours. Like 3 hours or whatever, and they can just chop that up for weeks. I guess to get them by to the next taping.
And there's clearly a proof of that kind of sort of here on this show. This taping must have happened after the Hostile City Showdown, because when Bob Ortiz introduces the Funks, he says at first this is the first time they've teamed in over a decade, and then Terry corrects him and says, no, we teamed Friday night or whatever it was. He corrects Bob that, hey, just a couple of days ago but
they didn't say that on the WWE film, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, Terry walked over and corrected him and said something to the effect of, we just teamed up 2 nights ago or something like that.
Oh, you know what? I literally that's perfect timing. You said that, because I think I was getting up to go get a beer, right? And then I heard when I heard him say, like, it's the first time they teamed up over a decade, my wheels started to spin. And I'm thinking, they had to have,
Yeah.
there's no chance. And I bet you if I had enough initiative and gave a fuck enough, I'd go into that room across the hall and look in that stupid ass room full of fucking DVDs.
Or you could go on Peacock and watch them team up in the WWF in 1985.
Well, see, that makes my room sound like it's not irrelevant anymore. And I don't want to have that.
I'll edit that out.
I don't give a shit. I know I got tens of thousands of useless products in there. I got some stuff that I stole when I used to work for Amway.
This match here is Terry Funk and Dory Funk against Hack Myers and Stevie Richards, or as they just call him here, Steve Richards.
Which I believe is the first time we've seen him.
Yep, it is. Mm-hmm.
So this is the debut of Steve Richards.
With a fantastic mullet. And
great trunks.
What did we think about this one, other than the fact that it went way too long?
There was a sign that said Six Pack Sully is Hack's barber.
See, that right there tells you how great the match was when the first thing Aaron can talk about is the signs in the crowd. So he wasn't watching the matches, watching the matches. And, I don't know. I was happy with you're talking about the Hack Myers, right?
Yep.
Dude, I was just happy that Hack got to work with Dory. Like, that popped me more than anything. Because I had forgotten about it. And I'm just thinking, like, Hack's my boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, like, he's out there, and they play the dumb, the dumb WWE music kind of thing. And Dory comes out, and, like, literally there's a guy behind him taking the sticks, moving his arms and legs to get him to the ring, Good Lord. I mean, that ship had sailed decades ago.
Yeah, well, and two of my notes that I have, the few notes that I have, two of them are, first of all, Dory is moving in slow motion in this match. And I enjoyed it when Terry was in the ring with Hack.
Oh, Dory or Terry, you said?
I liked Dory and Hack when they were in the ring together, but whenever I met Terry and Hack, when Terry and Hack were in the ring together, I liked it. Dory was moving in slow motion here, like
yeah,
like you
that
said, the ship has sailed.
Yeah, that wasn't the first time that Hack had worked with Terry.
That ship sailed. It's capsized.
There's lemon heads all over the
lemon heads. Still haven't found any survivors. Like, it's done.
Holy Lord. Somebody call the police.
They did a Viking funeral on that fucking boat. Kicked that sea set on fire. Be like, see you later.
Hey, I just watched Jaws 2 today, by the way. You guys know there was a Jaws marathon on?
No.
Well, turn the TV on.
I watched King of the Hill all day today.
That stupid shark. I can't believe he bit that fucking wire. Electrocuted himself. He's dumb. Dumb shark.
Dumb shark.
The guy's beating him with a paddle on a rubber raft. Trying to get him to bite this big wire so he'll execute him. I'm like, yeah, come on. What's the matter with you? Get out of the water, Roy Shire. Anyway, he should have been in this match.
But you're right. I do remember now. We did watch Hack wrestle Terry a few weeks ago because that was the match where Terry hit Hack in the ass with the chair.
Yeah, I mean, I think Terry liked fucking Hack,
I think so too, because I like I said in this, Terry feeds for him really good in this match and makes him look good. I just overall I thought for what you're trying to do here, and that is to put over the legendary Funk Brothers, they went too long. That could have been by design.
Do you got to say that every time you introduce them?
I think it's in the
legendary Funk Brothers.
And it's the first time they've teamed in over a decade. You got to say that too.
Good old lemon-headed Funk Brothers.
the lemon-headed Funk Brothers. No,
let's not lump Terry Funk in here.
He's not a lemon head.
He's just helping his senile old brother make a payday.
It's starting to get. If you think that fucking Dory's a lemon head, then Terry's starting to be a bobblehead. When he's out there doing his promos, I don't know what the hell I don't know what he's saying.
Think they paid Dory in Werther's and pudding?
And pudding? Like pudding?
Yeah. Old
Like
people
Bill
like
Cosby pudding?
Like old people like Werther's and pudding. Like
tapioca pudding.
Oh, definitely ain't tapioca. That's the good shit. Is it Go Play?
Anyway, Chat goes through a table, and then Dory hits him with a chair, and it's like I was like, well, that's the most exciting thing Dory Funk's ever done.
Dude,
Like,
how great was that chair shot?
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's the greatest thing I've ever seen Dory Funk do. Is
like it wasn't like he didn't swing the chair. He did the whole deal where he throws it at you where you're kind of expected to catch it, kind of spot. But he threw it in the right way where it was just quick enough that it actually kind of hit the guy first.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh shit! Like he threw that chair at that guy, and the guy didn't get hurt, or it was Hack, right?
Yeah,
he didn't get hurt.
That was.
I mean, I hate when we would do that spot where you got to grab the chair and like I can't think of who else it was. But they make they wanted you to hold it like out in front of you because they're gonna like Rob Van Dam.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna kick the fucking shit out of you. He don't give a shit how you hold that chair. You put all your arms underneath there. You grab your cats, throw them in there, a pillow. You know what I mean? Get a couple of your kids underneath there. That dude's jumping across that ring and he's kicking you in the face.
He's Van-daminating your cats whether you like it or not.
Yeah. So that's how that shit goes.
They also let Stevie. Stevie got I think a couple of super kicks on Terry and a couple of near falls on Terry here. And then Terry hits Stevie with a crazy looking pile driver. That pile driver was wacky. Did you catch that?
I didn't catch it. I don't know.
Did you see it, Aaron?
Yeah, it was like a reverse tombstone.
It was really. It was. I don't know. It didn't look. Obviously, it was safe, but it didn't look safe.
It was a reverse tombstone. So the other guy was giving it to the other guy.
Well, no, like usually when you have a tombstone, they're like their body's facing towards you, and then they
like
drop
the 69 position.
Yeah, it was like different, but he didn't do like a regular front pile driver or whatever. It was weird.
Like a 48 position.
Something to that effect. Essentially, yeah, it was like Aaron said. It was like a tombstone, but Stevie was facing away from Terry instead of towards Terry.
So Terry's eating ass.
Backwards. Yeah, he was belly to back.
Yeah, and it looked really awkward. Again, like I said, apparently, it wasn't. It was probably intended, and it went as it was supposed to go, but it didn't look like it was.
That's Terry, man.
And then they do the headlock spot.
That's exactly what I wrote. The headlock spot.
I put, are they really trying to get over the fucking side headlock?
As if the side headlock really needs to be getting over. It's an over move, man.
What the fuck is going on?
All the kids are doing it.
Dory's like, I just learned an exciting hold.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'll make this quick because I don't know how much time we got, whatever. But the first night that I got into Ozark Mountain Wrestling for Bert, I got on a bus and I went to the building and I got it, and I didn't even meet the guy that I worked. I got to the building, got dressed because I was late, got in there, got in the ring, and I had no idea what this guy could do, whatever. And we did one of them little fucking hokey spots that you're talking about. What was his name? Fucking Billy McClarty, I think it was. How do we even get here anyway?
Talking about the headlock spot. So, Are you saying did you do a headlock spot to start the match so you could actually converse with your opponent since you hadn't even talked to him yet?
That's what I mean. Yeah, we did the headlock spot and we did it like just forever because me and the guy never met each other.
Right.
So like I'm getting in the ring and he's a big guy and I'm a small guy and we lock up and I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't know what you can do and you don't know what I can do and what do you want to do? And then we both kind of agreed, not a whole lot.
We're not going to do much.
No, we're not doing. This is not gonna take a lot of time. We're not gonna waste these people's money over here. And the finish is you're beating me with a chop, right? Is that what you said? A chop?
Well, that was more effective finish than this match. This match, throughout the match, had a number of spots that could have been the finish, but instead the finish is the Funk's alternating headlocks on Stevie Richards and then pinning him.
Dude, did you not like it?
Not a fan. I liked it when Terry and Hack were in the ring. I did. That was fun. But overall, this went way too long and had a silly finish. To me.
I think, I mean, I definitely want to hear what Aaron has to say about this in a second, but I definitely think I love the spot. I just think they didn't do it properly in front of that crowd. Mm-hmm. It should have been faster. The spot was I mean, they kept coming in, but it should have been faster.
Right.
And they should have did it like 6 or 7 or 8, like make it a spot. They did it to where it was just something.
Yes, like I said, yeah. No, I totally understand what you're saying because it didn't look effective enough. Yeah, it didn't look effective enough to be the finish of a match.
Yeah, but if they would have just kept tagging in and out and just cranking in on the headlock, Dory could have did the whole deal where he cranks in and drops to his knee,
mm-hmm.
Tags back in Terry. Terry comes in, elbow to the back of the head, back of the neck, Tag back in, that could have been something, but oh my goodness.
Aaron, what were your thoughts on this whole
He's
thing?
Dumbfounded.
It was too long. It was boring when fucking Dory was in there. And the headlock thing was stupid. The thing should have ended when they fucking put Hack's big ass through the table and smacked him in the face with a chair. Like, that's an ending. That's an ending to a match. Not 17 side headlocks and a fucking hip toss. That's not a fucking finish.
What? A hip toss? Somebody did a hip toss?
Like Dory, basically hip tossed him into a pin or whatever, and that's how it ended.
He said he basically hip tossed him into a pin. Like, is that somebody in the back saying, "Look, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hip toss you into a pin"?
That was the finish. It's like,
that's
Jesus.
how it was explained to him.
Jesus Christ! I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Terry and Lemonhead overstayed their welcome.
Oh, enough with the Lemonheads. Getting carried away now.
After the match is over, they show us footage again of the Public Enemy and the Funks and their match at Hostile City Showdown, and then we get a promo from the Public Enemy. They say they're in the Bronx. I don't know where they actually are, but they say they're in the Bronx. And they're talking about the fact that on the 16th of July, which is going to be Heat Wave, which we will be able to watch, it is available. They are going to be facing the Funks again, this time in a barbed wire match.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, how long do you think it's going to take Dory to get in the ring during that?
I'm suspecting that I don't see much out of Dory in that match.
I think I remember that. I'm definitely there. Was I on it? Do you know by any chance? Did you look at the lineup?
No, I didn't. But I think you are on it.
I think I was, and I think Dory wasn't a big part of that match.
I'm gonna guess you're right because I can't see Dory Funk, wrapping himself in barbed wire.
Yeah, it was a Terry Funk show.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would have been, let's just say, I don't know. I mean, who would Terry want to pair up with? Like Teddy?
Yeah, probably.
Probably because Teddy will knows what he wants to do and knows how to do shit, and just let Dory go out there and just beat the shit out of Johnny.
Yeah.
Like, is that what you think it's the way it went?
Or just have Dory gets to lay Johnny down on the ground and just do the little punches and put him in a
pretty much.
headlock
That's the way it goes, right?
Yes, and you are on the Heat Wave.
Mikey Whipwreck. Not to spoil anything. You're fighting Mikey.
Yeah, you're against Mikey Whipwreck at Heat Wave, so we'll be talking about that in a few weeks.
That's Heat Wave 94?
94, yes.
I thought we already did this show.
We did Hostile City Showdown, but we haven't done Heat Wave yet.
Like, that was my that's going to be a show that we might want to tease for the listeners for a later date, because that's the show that was my downfall.
Oh. Well, yes, let me
it was.
down.
It was that was the show that was my downfall from me working for ECW. And it wasn't like I was some jilted wrestler that got released. I just said, I'm done doing this. Like, I'm not Donnie Allen. I'm not Hervé Ernesto. I'm not even Ernesto de Beneficio. I'm not Sal Balomo. I ain't the Canadian Wolfman. I can't be coming out here every single week getting beat up like this. And then I got to explain to my employer at 7-Eleven that why I got black eyes. It was a hip toss.
You ever heard of 911? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, that's a doozy of a show, man.
After the Public Enemy promo, which I don't know if you guys have any comments on the promo itself, but
no, it was bad.
I don't even have any notes of Public Enemy even being on the show.
Yeah, they sign off with cash rules everything around me, so there you go.
Just a couple clumps in front of a fucking fence.
Yeah.
Spouting things.
Oh, is that when they were kind of sitting outside?
Yeah, supposedly in the Bronx.
Yeah, I was
probably not.
I think I was washing my car during that.
Johnny's locks were flowing in the wind. It was terrible.
And no, there's always a ton of fucking. Like, I just imagine. Can you just literally think? Do they really dress like that and walk around down there?
How are they not getting beat up?
That's my point. Like they walk around, they look like two fags, walking around dressed the same, wearing. I mean, believe me, I'm not a homophobic person or whatever, but that's what they look like. And they're out there walking around holding hands, and
cash rules everything around me.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing out there, but I'm afraid to know. I don't even ask.
The next deal on this show is a promo from Shane Douglas and Mr. Hughes talking about the fact that tonight they are going to be having a cage match with the Bruise Brothers. Shane essentially, the gist of his promo is that he's a ring general. He's the general in the ring. He's the leader. And then Mr. Hughes, of course, his promo is about being the man. I don't think he brought up Undertaker or Lex Luger this
No, I put that actually in my notes, that I'm very proud of Curtis Hughes. He got through a whole promo without bringing up the Undertaker or Lex Luger.
Are you sure he didn't?
He did not. I was like, I'm so proud of you, big cat.
I don't know, because I think I was waiting. I think I may have heard one of them.
It's like when a baby steps for the first time, you're just like,
yeah. I don't know. All right, I'll take your word for it, but I guess maybe it was wishful thinking.
And then we get a promo from the Bruise Brothers talking about the upcoming cage match, and I don't have any notes on it other than a Bruise Brothers promo.
I got a note.
Okay.
The one Bruise brother that gets Ron is trying to talk about how Shane said that he was a general. And he tries to say that they're kick button pirates or privates, but he doesn't get it completely out right. So he just goes, me and my brother, we're a couple butt pirate.
Oh, no way.
We're a couple butt privates, is what he says. because I rewound it. And I'm like, did he say he's a butt pirate? Right.
And that was the Harris brothers?
Yeah. That he stumbled over his words like I just did and said, we're a couple butt privates.
Dude, these two fucking goofs, I don't give a shit how big and bad they are. Like, they were also involved in one of the, because I used to have this tape that I made. I called it Wrestling's Cheapest Matches. And it was just the worst people, like job guys, and the worst beat, like just a crappy tape or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God. And what was the guy's name you just said?
It was probably, I think it was Don Harris.
Yeah. And it was the Harris brothers, and they had just gotten to Memphis, and they were sponsored by the Sawyer Brown Band. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh my God. And they were like, Lance goes, let's bring them out. It's the Blue Denim Bruise brothers. And they came out, and they were clean shaved and clean looking. And they go, hey, it's a pleasure, Ron and Don Harris, to have you in the area. And we look forward to having you wrestle. And when Lance Russell put the microphone in the one of them two fucking idiots' mouth, the guy goes, and then he stepped back and laughed. And then came back and tried. I'm like, dude, you already blew that. Like, don't come back. Let the brother. Why didn't the brother slide in?
Yeah, well, it's Memphis TV, so there is no going back because it's live.
I know, but the other brother could have slid in and said, what he's trying to say is,
yeah,
he's excited to be here. But the guy said, he said, mutual. Liberty
That's why we
Liberty.
call him dyslexic Don. He's got dyslexia.
Oh, dude, it's you have to find it. It has to be on YouTube. It has to be. It's because they're wearing white trunks, and they're like sponsored by the Sawyer Brown Band. And I'm thinking, who's sponsoring them? The Sawyer Brown Band. I didn't know Buzz Sawyer had a band.
Well, Ron and Don are now the butt privates.
Butt privates.
Wow. Fine by me. I don't give a shit.
The next thing on the show is a highlight video, a hype video for a match we're going to get to see next week. As we review next week's show, it is Sabu versus the one and only Chad Austin.
Oh yeah, we were all ecstatic. I looked at. I didn't even tell Jess that it was me. She was eating. I didn't even want to say, "Hey, look, I'm on next week." Oh, and it said Sabu. I went, "Oh, never mind." Yeah,
we will definitely dig into it next week.
I would. Here's one. Something that I really want to get into. Like, what do you think could have been like my role? Because I clearly didn't understand my job there. I clearly didn't, because that's why I went to work for Smoky Mountain and then went to work for Memphis. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't know what I had going on in ECW. Like, because Paul never communicated with anybody and told anybody anything. It was like you kind of show up and then all of a sudden you're kind of working. So, like, how was I supposed to know, where I fit in? You know what I'm saying?
Watching the show, I feel like where I guess what I'll say is I'm trying to think like Paul watching the show is he was trying to get to what he eventually did with Mikey, in that you had like the upset kid deal going on with JT, and then he's got the upset kid thing going on with you, and then he gets the upset kid thing going on with Mikey, and it seems like out of the three of you, he settled on Mikey. Does that make sense?
Well, Mikey was a New York guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Mikey was going to win 9 times out of 10, because that's how that locker room became towards the end of my era. So that's basically probably how it became the end of the whole entire era.
Right.
It was all, because as soon as like I have nothing against Bubba or Bully, nothing. But when all them guys, they're all from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Dreamer, I mean, Raven was homeless somewhere around New York. But yeah, I don't know exactly where. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It all became clicky because Paul knew where he wanted to go, so he was just taking care of like his people,
Right.
Them guys that he had plans for. Like, even though him and Taz didn't like each other, he knew Taz was a top guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, like I said, I see what you're saying about at that time being in your situation. Like, where do I fit into this situation? But like I said, I guess looking at it from hindsight and having watched these shows as we've watched them, it's kind of, I guess, what I think is he was trying to cast an underdog character. And at first was using, like I said, using you and or JT in that role. And then when Mikey comes along, he settles on Mikey. And I didn't know about the New York connection with Mikey, to be honest. I have to plead that I was ignorant there. So now that makes sense to me.
Yeah, Mikey also came with the ring.
That helps too.
Yeah, remember that fucking that Slice Paul Loria.
Mm-hmm.
That was on shows back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the ring guy, or if it wasn't him, it was Johnny Rods, but it was still Mikey and Paul Loria that was bringing the ring. And then I think it became, I don't know what his name is. I call him Super Sack because he doesn't wear a fucking cup or underwear in his singlet. Gino Caruso. Gino Super Sack Caruso. That dude will never get a head scissor on me ever. That's never going to happen. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the ECW became a New York thing, and it became a New York thing as quick as the Dudleys came in.
Okay, which isn't too far away from this, I don't think.
Well, I mean, look who's still there. I'm still there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't you still see Hack?
Yep.
You still see Hack, and then you still see Donnie. I mean, you don't see Rebel as much, right? I guess that's about on the end, right?
Should be, yeah. But we always say that, and then it pops up like, yeah,
it should be.
It should be.
It's taped stuff, and you're still wishing that it should be on. Like, it's not like it's a live show coming up, and you're hoping that the character on the show died. You're like, it's taped. Oh, but it should be.
I just keep calling Rockin' Rebel the bad penny every week when we do the show. But yeah, we're going to see Sabu and Chad next week. They show us footage from Hostile City Showdown with the Sandman Tommy Cairo debacle.
As the trailer park turns.
Yes.
Name the title of this feud is As the Trailer Park Turns.
Shut up.
And then we
like
get these
slam through the hourglass.
We're supposed to be like credible
like
journalists over here, man.
he said
seriously.
Like bam.
Nate is clearly an honest and a noteworthy journalist over there who takes this job very, very seriously, Aaron. And you're out there cracking wise. What's the matter with you?
I had to do something to save this.
What, the show?
I had to just. There wasn't anything to.
Really... I have like 7 potential titles for this showdown. So if that tells you anything,
As the Trailer Park Turns. What are some of the other ones?
I'm not taking a head scissors from Gino Caruso. That's too long. But
Super Sack. He is Super Sack. I'm telling you, you got to see this thing. Holy mackerel. Especially on the boardwalk of Atlantic City when it's like 105 degrees. And he's standing out in the middle of the ring and the beach. And wow, it's starting to dangle.
Trying to look like a spokesman for Gold Bond. Jesus.
Dude. Yeah, super sag, man.
We get your standard Sandman woman promo on Tommy Cairo, of course. Pay me for my house, Tommy. Pay me for my wife, Tommy. Just pay me, Tommy. And
the dude's like the dude's like the girl here. She don't pay anything. She's not going to pay.
And is it do anything? Is it me, or as much as we've talked about this feud being a good thing and that it is evolving the character of the Sandman? Has or has not this feud jumped the shark? Like,
well, I don't know. Don't you think this is? Yeah, like I was just explaining. It's like, it is. It's jumping the shark, but it's trying to like put the exclamation point, or the period, I guess you could say, on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's get this over with,
please.
Like, pay your bills? Are we still doing that thing?
Yep, we're still beating that horse, and that's what I was saying. Like, it's not going anywhere at this point. You're just treading water. It's time to move on,
Yeah, so it has to be squashed, and I'm sure we're not too far away from Tommy Cairo being removed, but we say that every single week. Like, we're gonna watch like Hardcore Heaven 97.
And Tommy Cairo and Rockin' Rebel are going to be on the fucking show.
They're just going to show up out of nowhere and have a kendo match. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, they should be like hologrammed on all the big ECW shows. Give us a hologram of Tommy Cairo.
Like
and Rockin' Rebel. Both of them are kind of dead, right?
Well, Tommy just had a birthday.
Okay. Well, you can still have a birthday. Jimi Hendrix had a birthday too recently. So what are you saying?
I just think it's funny that he had like a birthday 3 days ago. You're like, I think he's dead.
My problem.
So in the past few weeks on this show, we've put 911 in an early grave, apparently, and Tommy Cairo.
Well, give me a minute. I'm sure I can find some others.
Yeah.
It's the wrestling business. I can just put a whole bunch of names in a hat and just throw it up in the air. Hit one of them.
The next match on the show. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know if Mike Sharp's dead or not. I think he's dead.
Mike Sharp's dead.
Oh. Baron Miguel Cicluna?
He's dead.
Oh, he has to be, right? With a haircut like that. He's not fit for this generation.
The next match on the show, our last match on the show, is a cage match, as we were referring to earlier. Shane Douglas and Mr. Hughes against the Harris brothers, or the Bruise Brothers, as they're called here.
The Butt Pirates.
During the match, I put down, we said good job earlier to Mr. Hughes for not bringing up Lex Luger and The Undertaker. During the match, Willie Watts brings up Lex Luger and The Undertaker when discussing Mr. Hughes.
He also says the Bruise Brothers are butt-kicking fools.
It's right.
Butt-kicking fools.
Hell yeah. I mean, what else are they going to be? I mean, you clearly can't say butt-kicking motherfuckers. So, I mean, there's some butt-kicking somebodies.
If Black Bill Watts Jr. would have said, these guys are butt-kicking motherfuckers, I would have said, you have redeemed yourself for a month and a half's worth of nothing. Like you have contributed nothing to anybody's existence until the day you said these guys are butt kicking motherfuckers.
Oh no.
Well, then Paul Heyman shows up and he saves the day.
Yes, he does, and he tells Willie Scoop Watts how much he sucks.
Who'd you say
which
showed
I love.
up? Braun Strowman?
Paulie shows up to help.
Braun Breaker?
To help with commentary. Pretty much tells Willie Scoops Watts that he sucks, and then hypes the match between Shane and Sabu on July 16th.
He says he's the worst commentator. He's the worst commentator on television since David Crockett retired.
Oh, good. So he thinks David Crockett's worse than Bob Caudle? Oh, good Lord. Maybe Bob Caudle just didn't pop into his mind. Because David Crockett is so bad that it kind of sticks out.
Yeah. David Crockett's terrible.
What was that? Who was that? Was that Mean Gene that one time was interviewing Jesse Ventura on a Saturday Night's Main Event? And Jesse Ventura was Mean Gene was so nervous when he was holding the mic. He says, keep the mic still, Mean Gene. Are you holding a microphone or a vibrator? Like he said that on a Saturday Night's Main Event.
I remember that. Yes.
And you look at Bob Caudle, and it looks like he's going to accidentally hit the guy in the face with a microphone because he's spinning around like he's the guy from the Match Game. With that big long ass microphone.
Like Bob Caudle comes down, it's like
it's like a big wand. And he's like, "Oh, let's talk about our guests."
It's like, who we got up on the panel? There's Paul Jones,
Jimmy Valiant,
Charles Nelson Riley,
Baby Doll, Charles Nelson Riley,
Pork Chop Cash,
Pork Chop Cash,
one of the Moondogs. We're not sure which one. Moondog Splat.
and John Ritter. Look at that.
Playing the part.
Well, we got some memorabilia from John Ritter.
Playing the part of Charles Nelson Riley. There's Jim Barnett. How you doing, Jim?
Hello, boys. I could see that in the spot for John Ritter. They just have like a pair of shoes. they got from like costume or whatever. Well, there you go. That's the best we could do.
Bob Caudle hosting the wrestling match game.
There's nothing of Bob Caudle. Like there's no Mrs. Caudle. There's no little kid Coddles. I mean, there is nothing of him. He's gone.
I want to see Bob Caudle host the wrestling match game.
You want to see what? Him and Mr. Wrestling 2 do what?
I want to see Bob Caudle host the wrestling match game.
Why isn't there a wrestling trivia game on TV? Huh?
I don't know, and it needs to be hosted by Bob Caudle.
I mean, seriously, because people are. You know what? The best part about it is that if you put it on like during the middle of the day, like the Game Show Network, whatever, people are going to tune in and they're going to start donating money because they're going to see him shaking and twitching out there, and they're going to think it's a telethon. But it's a game show. Yeah, so yeah, why not?
Let's give to this poor old bastard.
Bob Caudle out there.
This cage match, I don't have a lot of notes on it other than it wasn't terrible, but it was.
We were talking about Bob Caudle
too long. It was too long.
One of the Harris boys kicks Shane Douglas through the door for the win. So Shane and Mr. Hughes win pretty much by accident. And I think this might be the end of this feud. And I think the Harrises after this are on their way to Smoky Mountain, aren't they? I don't think they're around much longer.
Yeah.
Well, do you have did you do any homework on when they started in Smoky Mountain?
No, I'm just going.
But you're just assuming that it's like a couple of months after this.
I'm assuming so.
Bastard.
What's that? What'd you say?
You lazy bastard.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what happens when you assume, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I mean,
they aren't on Heatwave. I'm looking at the Heatwave card, and they're not on Heatwave, so we'll see.
Aaron's not. Well, he wasn't on Heatwave. Who did Aaron work? Hervé Ernesto?
911, I think.
Oh, it was me and Aaron.
It's pretty epic.
I could just imagine that. Like, did you ever see that dude, the Jersey Devil? The guy who got chokeslammed. Like, he got chokeslammed one time. He was a Jersey Devil. You might know the story that's a little more malicious, but he was involved in the Feinstein shit.
Okay.
That kid Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I love that kid. Like, I really like that kid. And I did the most I could for that dude. And I didn't have any idea about that lifestyle. Not that I gave a shit, but I didn't need, like, I don't, it's like I don't want anybody walking in on me and Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a fat cat laying in the middle of us. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. But I didn't want to walk in on that. Two dudes naked, like,
Right.
Okay.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I said, "Oh, see you downstairs." Whenever you're ready, and then that's when all the that's right around when all the Feinstein stuff came out. Like, they weren't good at that at all. They were terrible at keeping that shit confidential.
Yeah. One of the worst kept secrets ever.
Yeah, well,
Eddie Murphy.
I think the other worst kept secret is drink and drive.
What's that Eddie Murphy joke when he talks about doesn't care what people do but doesn't want to know about it? Like, when he's done playing basketball with a buddy, he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna go get a drink," and the other guy's like, "Well, I'm gonna go suck a dick." Be like, "Oh, okay, well, have fun."
Lord. Yeah, I kind of do that shit kind of a lot too. Like, not in that same sense, but when people say what they're gonna do, I just go like, "Nope, not me, man. I'm going fucking home."
Yeah.
I got some. I either can watch some good St. Louis wrestling or I go watch some bad St. Louis wrestling.
Either way, it's going to be entertaining. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to be sitting on that sofa watching. I still have a box of tapes right here I'm looking at right now that I got to do. Good Lord.
Well, to end this ECW show,
we're not done it.
Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer will face each other next week, and then they show once again the promo that we've already seen: Cactus Jack spitting on the WCW tag team title and throwing it down, cutting the promo on Sabu. And guys, overall, I thought this show was kind of a bust. I'm glad we got an hour out of it, but it was kind of a bust. It was a utility show. It wasn't. I mean, I'm not going to say it was. What am I going to say? It wasn't unwatchable, but it was boring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much more other to say than it. Like, these shows have just become more and more like totalitarian, to speak. Sort of, it's just to serve like the content.
Mm-hmm.
Put content up. We're not going anywhere. We're not giving you anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we're giving you content, but it's nothing. It's the same shit.
Yeah, like I said, it's just you're just waiting here. You're just waiting in the water. I don't know. I like I said, it wasn't necessarily that I was just like booing this show. I was like, boo, this is garbage. It wasn't anything to. I mean, I guess it was something to write a little bit of notes about. But
I probably booed it once.
It was what it was, Aaron.
It was mild chili. Like, you just eat it, you're like, okay, this is okay.
56.
But it's just like, this is just okay. There's no There's no life to it. There's no spice to it. This was a mild bowl of chili, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't eat chili, but
You should.
fuck no, dude. I already have enough gastrointestinal, whatever it is, gastrotesticular problems. I don't need any more. That's why I'm upstairs doing the show, because I was downstairs farting and Jeff said, "Go upstairs."
Stop sticking up my living room. Yeah,
I'm sticking it downstairs. and she hates it when I really got to fart and I go over and I fart by the heater thing. You know what I mean? The big heater thing in the room.
Bake it a little bit
because it soaks the air in, and then I fart the whole house up. Like, I definitely watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia too much because I've turned into Frank. Yeah, but yeah. All in all, show wasn't great, not great at all. But I don't know. I mean, haven't we been saying this, Nate, for the longest time? It's just like it's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
But we just can't figure out like where the foundation is at. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like we know that Paul has high hopes on what? Shane?
Yep. Taz,
Sabu.
He really wants Tommy to get over.
Tommy, you know, and then at a certain level, you would say public enemy.
Mm-hmm.
What, Mr. Hughes to a certain level? But that's a rental right there to begin with.
Right.
Other than that, like, I don't know who, you know.
At this point, and I don't know if you can say yes or no or not. If you know, at this point, had Terry Funk, I guess, bought in, like, as far as like he's going to be a Paulie guy, and I know he does some WCW stuff here in '94, but overall, has he bought into ECW yet, or do you think he's just working it like it's an indie at this point?
Well, I can just tell you that I was there at that little meeting that Terry had with all the boys, and he said that this is it. This is a revolution. This is the Terry Funk.
Right.
The my last stand. You know?
Yeah.
All that, like, dude, you're still standing. Dude, shut up. Fall down. I thought this was your last standing. Just get out of here. Yeah. It was just kind of like it was another one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every 4 years, 3 years, he'll go to Japan and he'll claim he's going to retire, and he'll go to fucking India.
I said I was no longer going to wrestle in Osaka.
Yeah,
I never said anything about Tokyo.
But then he goes back there and he goes, "No, I never said Osaka. I said with Sako."
Drink sake. I said I was never going to drink sake again.
Look, he go back 3 or 4 times. I never said I was going to date Oscar. Like, he can go back as much as he wants because he's like me. And granted, no chance I'm even putting myself anywhere near the category of Terry Funk. Or I don't even live in the same fucking country as he lives in. But yeah, like when I was done, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept coming back, and that's a credit to somebody that, if I'm done doing what I'm doing and I don't want to do it anymore, it's either going to take like 1 or 2 things to get me out of the house. My love for still wanting to do it, or a lot of fucking money.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So what did Terry do it for? Combination of both.
Yeah. Him helping out with ECW and helping it get as popular as it did was definitely out of his love for the business. So because of that, when he wasn't making enough money, that's when he'd go work for Vince for 6 months, to get the payday, and then back to ECW or what have you. You know what I mean?
I don't understand how Terry Funk's not making enough money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where are you not making enough money at? Where? For what, 35 years? You should have, saved the money you made,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted that, the inflation has changed and all, but yeah, you should probably have enough money. You could probably get by.
Yeah, damn, Terry.
But you don't need to have to come back with your knees all wobbly and rickety. And that spot that he does when the guy hits him with the chair and his knees all like buckle and stuff, that's a shoot. Because his knees are about to fall apart.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's got to buy all that cattle for the ranch.
Oh, of course, he's got to buy the cattle.
Pay for that home that Lemonhead's in. Like, there's all that stuff.
He's got to go out there and work it. He's still pissed off because Eddie Gilbert never showed up. He's still down there going, Eddie Gilbert, what? Show your face. Like, hey, Terry, Eddie died like 3 years ago. That goddamn.
He'll do anything to get out of coming up here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I want to thank Chad and Aaron for joining me this week and thank our listeners for joining us. Any parting words for everybody this week, guys? We made an hour. I'll be damned.
No, I'm just glad you all listen, and I'm proud to be part of this project.
Me too, and enjoy the beginning of the show that you're about to hear at the end.
Aha! It's like M. Night Shyamalan. There's a twist.
What are you going to air some of the earlier stuff?
Outtakes at the. Listen up, Archie Mitchell. You're going to want to hear this.
Oh, good Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week, and thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week around on Reliving the Experience.
Archie.